Another remastered set about to hit the market. Ravnica Remastered is going to come out. Gonna probably see an Amazon dump or two, be overprinted, oversold, and be absolutely completely worthless. Or maybe. Discussing a set like Ravnica Remastered is, well, it's a touchy subject for me. I love Dominaria Remastered and the limited play experience and the opportunity it brought for me to revisit some awesome and fun times in Magic's history and play a wonderful limited experience with my community and my friends. But there's no denying the product did not hold great value on the secondary market, and it had several issues. Overprinting, Amazon dumps, rare cards that weren't chase cards in the collector box being reprinted after reprinted maybe, or waves released. However it happened, more and more collector boxes hit the secondary market, and because of that, the product feels, I don't want to say toxic, but it feels kind of toxic. So with Ravnica Remastered right on the horizon, it's safe to say that we're going to see the same thing again. Maybe. I actually have some thoughts on Ravnica Remastered. I want to share those today, and I want to point out today's video is some of the most fun I have on this channel. It is a tinfoil hat speculation video. That's right, today we are gonna unfoundly and without consequence speculate on Ravnica Remastered. I'm gonna give you some of my thoughts, and I'm gonna tell you why. I call it tinfoil hat theory, I call it wild and crazy speculation, but everything I do is grounded in some of my thoughts about how Wizards of the Coast operates Magic the Gathering and the trends that we have seen over the last year. So join me on this fun journey, have some fun today, and when you hear something that you aggressively agree or disagree with, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments section. But Ravnica Remastered offers an opportunity for Wizards of the Coast to show that they've learned something over 2023. And I know that's the first trigger phrase that's going to send everyone to the comment section. WotC is evil! Like, yes, they're a company, but they have taken Magic in a better direction than it was in 2022 or even 2021, at least at the end of 2021. Magic the Gathering has been better about how many boxes per set it prints. We still see the rapid release cycle smashing us in the face, and while I track every single sold listing of sealed product from TCG Player when it comes to Magic releases, I am slowly learning to embrace that message sent to us by the company. Not every product is for you, and so this has lessened the blow of the rapid release cycle for me personally. But the overprinting probably still remains, but it is less of an issue. You couple that with the fact that Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast clearly realized that collectability was a problem, and whether you agree with or disagree with how they are addressing and trying to make Magic the Gathering collectible again, it's very clear that that is a thought that's on the forefront of their mind. The serialized card movement, Ixalan and Wilds of Eldraine having cards that are not serialized, but clearly are hard to get. Heck, look at the prices of some of the emblem foils from Jurassic Park or the confetti foils from Wilds of Eldraine, and you will see that if you have hard to get versions of cards that people actually want, they are collectible and hold a great value on the market. And while we're talking about value, both of those sets that we just mentioned still holding a great price on the secondary market. We'll go over that on Friday Morning Magic, our weekly live stream at 8 p.m. But what does all this have to do with Ravnica Remastered? Well, Ravnica Remastered is an opportunity to show that Wizards of the Coast is not just making blind decisions, that they are actually making conscious choices to make Magic a better experience. And because of that, I've got some wild theories. The first, let's talk about the print run, or my theory about the print run and how many boxes we're going to get of Ravnica Remastered. Now, I've made it clear on this channel before, I do believe placing serialized cards in the collector packs and then giving a declared rarity mathematically limits the number of collector packs you can possibly print. Now, I know that some people are out there in the conspiracy theory, they only print 250, then they slow down and change that rarity based on the number of boxes they want to see. They don't do any of that. Listen, I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's no chance in that. I like to entertain every theory. There's no chance that they do that. The just logistics of that alone would be an absolute nightmare. But because of the serialized cards in Ravnica Remastered, I think it's something that I am willing to stand in front of a microphone and say that there will be a set number of collector boxes printed. It won't be a reprint to demand thing, and I also believe that we might see, and this is where the tinfoil hat comes on with the collector booster box, Magic the Gathering swing in the opposite direction of how many boxes they print. Now, we saw them pull back on Amazon dumps, releasing popular products at a, let's call it, less than fair price to the rest of the market in our local game stores that work so hard to serve Magic the Gathering. They release these boxes for less than a fair price on Amazon.com, and that does hurt our ecosystem and the kind of path that we have built to deliver Magic to people for the better part of 30 years. Now, hold on to that, because we're talking collector boxes. We're not talking draft boxes that already went on Amazon for... Anyway, we're talking collector boxes right now. If they have learned that lesson and they swing the pendulum too far in the other direction, which was those have been known to do, I could see a world. You could close your eyes and fantasize and give me the Wayne's World and tell me a story where these collector boxes may actually be hard to get. They might be something that people do covet and it's hard to come by. Now, does that mean we as a community will like them? Not necessarily. It doesn't always mean that. Look at the Brothers War. The Brothers War is something that is clearly limited print because of the number of serialized cards available, and it's still something that has not only seen an Amazon dump, but to this day, we as a community don't necessarily value. Now, I personally love the set. I think it's great long term. It's a wonderful experience for Magic fans, and I'm all in on the first print run of serialized cards ever. If I remember, I'll link that video. But imagine a world, if you will, where Wizards of the Coast does learn some of these lessons, and Ravnica Remastered offers a collector box that is, I'm going to use the word, it's collectible. And if that becomes the world we live in, I could see great things for this product in its future. But that's just the collector box. The remastered experience, as I mentioned earlier in this video, is not all about cracking cards and opening the newest Force of Will, which, how many Force of Wills do you think we're going to get this year? Let me know in the comment section below. The number of Force of Wills printed per year should be a fun little thing that we also track along with all of our data. But it's more about the experience, reliving that time in Magic the Gathering, reliving some of your favorite cards from your time playing in Magic the Gathering, and playing in those environments. Like the Ravnica plane and that story in Magic's history is something that we as a community have taken to. We've taken to it so much that arguably Wizards of the Coast overdid it with Ravnica set after Ravnica set after Ravnica reference. You get the gist. But I still think that we are going to covet the idea of getting behind our decks and playing in the Ravnica world for Ravnica Remastered. Having a curated experience from these sets, sit down and play with our friends, is going to be a wonderful experience. And I think that's a place the set is really going to shine. And where I don't think the set's going to shine is in the value of the draft box. I really think that Wizards of the Coast is going to go to the end of the earth to print this thing like crazy. Because if we follow this conspiracy theory where Wizards of the Coast, and mind you, it's a conspiracy theory that's a for fun video, don't get all mad at me for just having some fun with Magic on the internet. Follow this conspiracy theory where they're short printing collector boxes because they want things to be collectible, and the serialized cards and like Shocklands are things people want to chase down, and serialized Birds of Paradise are super fun and collectible. Well, that means that we're going to like the set. And normally, if we like the set, we want more of it. We want to play with those Magic cards. Again, I use the last two sets very frequently. Standard Magic sets were all but dead, and 2023 they've risen from the grave. I mean, Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One was insane. The last two standard sets performed extremely well, and we keep revisiting them as the products continue to sell on the open market. If that's the case, we're going to get a ton of draft boxes for Ravnica Remastered, and when that happens, there will be nothing in the set that holds value except the special cards you can get out of the collector box, and we're going to have to lean all on the play experience of the draft booster, which, again, I don't think is a bad thing. I think people in our world, especially the people worried about Magic boxes and value and how many sales happen, which is a lot of what we do here, are going to look at that flat number and say, boom, failure, even in our little fantasy world that we've built here. But I would just encourage every one of you to remember that when you buy that box, you are also buying an experience. getting together and playing with your friends. And if that limited play experience is one of the best that we're going to get in the year, I want everyone to embrace that regardless of the card values. Now, there's one more theory that doesn't necessarily bode well for this set, and it's not a direct comparison, but if you've stayed around this long, you get a little bonus tidbit here. I have said for a while that Ravnica Remastered might be the last opportunity for us to have a remastered product. Remastered products, in my humble opinion, only work when we care about the plane and the set and the era in Magic that they're remastering. Time Spiral Remastered, incredible for me. I love Time Spiral. I played during the Time Spiral and Future set, like the original Time Spiral. So when that set came out, I was like, oh, I am all in on this product. And Dominaria Remastered even was a wonderful time, and there were still a lot of people that held ties to that plane and that story. Well, after Ravnica, we start to enter an era of Magic the Gathering where we don't necessarily connect with the products the way we used to. We've talked about it for almost a year on this channel now. We don't fall in love with the Magic set. We don't have the time to go back to the well and keep drawing from these Magic experiences on a set-by-set basis and really fall head over heels for some of the cards that we play. And because of this, as we start to get in deep into Magic's future and remaster some of these products, or even master set some of these cards that are coming out, don't have that same attachment and that same love for that product. Because of that, I think we're going to see them pull back on remastered and master sets. That's right. I know some of the things that make Wizards of the Coast the most money every year, because sooner or later, I think they're doomed. They're just set up for this massive failure where they're like, oh, we could remaster sets and make master sets, and everyone just buys them. And they got a taste of it with Commander Masters, but in my opinion, that was more about the price than the product. As soon as the price went down, we bought that product. But the future Masters and Remaster set, I believe, again, in my opinion, are going to start to dwindle. And that's a hot take and a tinfoil hat theory that I don't know if I'm going to find anyone to agree with, but I really think that emotional pull, that nostalgia, that feeling that we have for these Magic sets at that time is something that draws us to a lot of these Masters and Mastered product. So when it comes to Ravnica Remastered, the limited play, in my opinion, is probably going to be exceptional. Collector box has a wonderful opportunity, but likely it'll just get printed in the dirt, be absolutely worthless, and won't hold any value in all of that. We've seen what happens when a fancy Shocklands try to carry an entire set where nobody cares about anything else in the product. Looking at you, Unfinity. So this is just some fun I like to have on the channel when a new set comes out, especially we have this time for the rest of the year. We're going to be evaluating all of the Magic sets in 2023. We're going to do a tier list of all of those sets. We're going to talk about best 5 products, worst 5 products. We got a ton of fun stuff planned on the channel. Make sure you stick around and that subscribe button. If you want to support Above and Beyond and you want an opportunity, and if you stuck around this long, I'm going to do Ravnica Remastered box openings for channel members. Click the channel membership. It's $5 a month. You get access to exclusive content, custom emotes, and now you get discounts on box openings. Make your channel membership worth it. I love the fact that I can offer some cool stuff like this to make the channel members that support Hometown TCG really get some extra value for going above and beyond. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Oh, if you've never shared a Hometown TCG video, do it now, because we're racing to 7250 subs. All that fun YouTube stuff. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh, and it's gonna be worthless, right? Right? Totally, you believe me. You believe me.